the largest stone structures ever built, rising from the desert for more than 4,000 years, unmoved by time, unbroken by empires, untouched by modern logic, perfectly aligned, impossibly heavy, still unexplained, and a question that refuses to go away. Is humanity moving forward, or did we fall from a forgotten peak? Tonight, we walk through the timeline of the Egyptian pyramids, not as tourists, but as witnesses to something unsettling. In Egypt, there are more than 120 pyramids scattered along the Nile, like a code carved into the landscape, built over nearly 1,000 years, from 2667 BC to around 1650 BC. 1,000 years of ambition, 1,000 years of engineering, 1,000 years of belief in eternity. So the story should be simple, primitive at the beginning, perfect at the end. That is how progress works, isn't it? It starts with the step pyramid of Djoser, a revolution in stone. Before this, there were only mud brick tombs. Now, a mountain made by human hands, small stones, stacked carefully, layer by layer. You can almost see the architects learning, thinking, trying. Then comes the Maidum Pyramid, an attempt to reach higher, but something fails. The outer casing collapses, a reminder that this knowledge was still new, still fragile. After that, the Bent Pyramid. Halfway to the sky, the angle changes, a correction, a visible mistake, frozen in time. And then, the Red Pyramid. For the first time in history, a true pyramid stands, stable, complete, successful, trial, error, improvement. The natural rhythm of human progress. Everything makes sense, until it doesn't. Suddenly, Giza. The horizon changes, the scale changes, the rules change. The Great Pyramid of Khufu. Not slightly better. Not the next step. A leap beyond expectation. 2.3 million stones, each weighing tons, some 70 tons, granite blocks, transported from hundreds of kilometers away, placed with a precision modern construction still struggles to explain. The four sides aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal directions, not by satellite, not by laser, but by human hands. Then the Pyramid of Khafra, standing on higher ground, appearing even taller, its casing stones still touching the sky. Then the Pyramid of Menkaure, smaller, yet built with an elegance that feels deliberate. 3 structures, not just tombs, statements, power, knowledge, control over matter itself. This is not progress, this is perfection. And then something changes. After Giza, the pyramids shrink, the stones get smaller, the cores are filled with rubble. Outer layers become thinner. The precision fades, the ambition fades, the silence grows. For centuries they are still built, but something is missing. That same confidence, that same mastery. Why would a civilization that can move mountains return to broken stones? Think about the sequence. Small stones, experimentation, failure, learning, and then the greatest stone structures on Earth. And after that, a return to smaller stones, less precision, less scale, less weight, less everything. This is not a straight line, this is a peak. Isn't that the wrong direction? This is the part that keeps me awake at night. How does a civilization reach the absolute peak of stone construction and then walk away from it? Was it only economics? Was it politics? Was it a change in belief? Or was something lost? A method, a system, a knowledge that was never written down? Or did those 3 pyramids not belong to the same timeline at all? What if they were already there when later kings came to power? What if they were not the beginning of a tradition, but the end of one we no longer remember? Carbon dating, king lists, Historical sequences, they all depend on interpretation, on fragments, on what survived. But what if, somewhere, something is misread? What if the chronology is slightly shifted, not by centuries, but by millennia? What if those structures are far older than we are told, built by a civilization whose name has been erased by time? Maybe the story we learned is true. Maybe the timeline is correct. Maybe everything is exactly as written. But every time we look at Giza, we are not just looking at stone. We are looking at precision that defies its age. We are looking at weight that defies its tools. We are looking at a question, frozen in time, a message without a clear sender, a peak without a visible beginning, in a sequence that feels out of place. Don't you think there is something strange about all this?